everybody. It's Priscilla again. Just wanted to share with you today just a couple of the things that I've been doing in terms of researching for this adventure, this journey of moving into an RV. There is so much information out on the web between YouTube and Facebook and Pinterest, and I've been following a few people like Gone with the Winds. They're a Texas couple that made the decision to leave the corporate life and move into an RV and travel the country basically. And now I think they're traveling on a boat somewhere out in the seven seas. But anyway, I picked up a lot of tips from them, and I picked up a lot of tips from some other folks out there, which I hope to mention in later videos. But those of you that know me know that I love to plan. Sometimes for me, the journey is not getting there, but not even the process of getting there, but the process of planning to get there, right? I love to sit down and kind of research everything and learn as much as I can. And then if you know me, you know that the next thing I'll do is get a list. If I had a whiteboard, I would be showing you on a whiteboard what my plan is. But I don't have that. What I have is my handy dandy composition notebook, which I've entitled RV Life. And I'm using it for things like, just kind of journaling a little bit about my decision to do this and what led me, and and some prayers and things that I've used along the way to kind of help me out. And then I have 3 handy dandy little Post-its. I love this kind of stuff. I can't go into an office supply store without, coming home with everything except for the kitchen sink. And so the first tab that I have is a list of the things that I'm going to need to transition into the RV. And basically so that I can start keeping an eye out for sales. So I went on Amazon and I kind of created a wish list, and I've actually gotten a couple of notices because Amazon's really good about that. If something you're looking for, if you have it on a wish list, if it goes down in price, they'll send you an email, an alert basically to let you know, hey, this item you're looking at has gone down in price. So I've done that, and a couple of things that I had on my list have actually gone down in price. So, and then I've tried to divide it up into things that I have to have for the remodel and things that I have to have for the RV once I'm on the road. So in the first one, I have all the remodel supplies. I know what kind of paint I'm going to use, what kind of paint I can use for the countertop. I've done a lot of research on that. Here's something interesting. I did not know that the typical mattress in an RV is shorter than the home mattresses that we use. So when you see a queen size bed, it may not look like a queen size bed. It's the right width, but the length is a little bit shorter. So you can't actually just get sheets, at the Piggly Wiggly or Walmart or whatever and put those sheets on your bed. They're not going to work. So I had to do some research on where I can get sheets. Things like the type of light bulbs, I want to be as green as possible. So I want to put LED light bulbs and things like that. And then some other things that I picked up along the line that you really should replace, things like the shower head, organizing containers. It's all about, compartmentalizing as much as possible because of the space, and you really want to maximize that space. Things like command hooks, types of hangers and things like that. And then there's the general supplies, which is where I'm like, I have like pages and pages and pages and pages, if you can see that. Things like, a macerator for the sewer. I had to learn what that was. I don't want to explain it to you because it's kind of yucky. But anyway, it's good to have one. Things like your regular toilet paper that you use in your house is not good for your RV. You have to use a specialized toilet paper, and what kind of chemicals you can use. And, and chemicals that end up going into the ground. You want to be, mindful of those types of chemicals because you don't want to add to, to our environment and make it worse than it already is. Things like water pressure regulators and water filters and, a dehumidifier, because apparently it's very humid, or it can get very humid depending on where you are. Things like surge protectors, and then there's the emergency supplies, right? I'm hoping that everything goes well, but things do happen. tires blow up and batteries go dead and stuff like that. So there's things like emergency rope kits and tool kits and a tire repair kit. I will tell you, I have no intention of repairing tires myself. But if something happens and I find myself in need, I want to be able to have the tools in place and the kit in place so that I can find some good Samaritan somewhere that can either help me or until I can get the RV into a repair shop. Because I'm not fixing it. Because I don't do that kind of stuff. Things like making sure, oh yeah, like battery terminal cleaner. This girl ain't doing that. Flashlights, fire extinguishers. Then you go into communications and navigation, right? Because I want to be able to stay connected when I'm out on the road, and I want to be able to, do videos and upload videos and stay in contact with my peeps through Facebook or, Twitter or whatever. So who knew they actually make a GPS for RVs? How cool is this? Get this, you guys. So you get an RV GPS and you can plug in the size of the rig that you're traveling in, if you're towing, all the specifics, weight and all that stuff. And then when you plug in your destination that you're going to into the GPS will take that into consideration so that it avoids any roads that might be too narrow, or maybe they're under construction and might be a problem, or bridges that are too low and your rig might be too tall and won't fit under the bridge. Because let me tell you, if that can happen, I'm the one that's going to do that. I'm the one that's going to be stuck under the bridge. Things like MIFI packs and self-signal boosters and a solar-powered cell phone charger, because you never know if you're out boondocking, and I do plan to do some boondocking at some point. Bluetooth speaker. I want to look into solar. It's probably not something that I'm going to be able to do right away, but solar panels is definitely something that I plan on doing so that I can, reduce the amount of electricity that I'm having to use. Stuff for the outdoors. That's great. I get into my first campsite, I put on my lovely awning, and then what do I sit on? I need folding chairs and a table and, probably an area rug and maybe some solar lamps to put outside and mark out my spot. The biggest thing that I'm looking into right now is the towing package. Am I going to flat tow or am I going to tow on a dolly? And I kind of have to make that decision so that I can start saving money for that, because that's going to be a huge expense as well. Things like battery chargers, vent covers, gutter extenders. There's stuff on here, like I said the other day, I have no bloody idea what they are, just that other people are recommending them. So I'm just creating a list, and then I'm doing my research, and then I'll find out where that stuff comes from. So that's the first section. That's just supplies. In addition to the RV, that's just stuff you have to get. Then I have a list of all these tips and tricks that I've picked up along the way, either from Pinterest or some of those folks that are great enough to share their adventures on YouTube. Things like I have to get a mail service. How do I get my mail? If I'm in Colorado and I'm, home base is Texas, how am I going to get a mail? Well, who knew there's services out there that will forward your mail for you? Things like carrying my medical records. If there's an emergency and I have to go to a doctor or a clinic or whatever, I should probably have a copy of my medical records and the medical records for the dogs as well. And hopefully there is no emergency, but in the event of an emergency that I have that. Things like, oh, this was interesting. Apparently wasps, which I'm highly allergic to, by the way, are attracted to propane because they love the smell of the propane and they find it to be sweet. So somebody posted that you can actually take a flea collar, the kind that you buy for your dog or your cat, and you can cut it in half and you can put one of those in your refrigeration compartment, which is the propane comes into, and also in your water compartment for your water heater so that you can avoid having wasps. Who knew? I didn't know. Things that are collapsible, right? Because you have tiny little cupboards, and so you can't put your big giant arroz con pollo pot in that tiny little cupboard. So I'm going to have to find an alternative for my arroz con pollo because that's not going to fit likely in the RV unless I carry it in the basement. And And the basement is underneath the RV. They call that, the basement is what's underneath the RV, where you have all the drawers and stuff where you can put extra stuff in there. Things like tension rods and using shoe racks to hang things. I already started doing that here. I bought a shoe rack and I put all my medication in there instead of in the medicine cabinet. It's a lot easier to get to. It's neater. I can see what I need, what I don't need. Wish I thought of that sooner. Things like a rest area guide. They even make a book out there for Walmart parking. You know, I don't know if you know, several Walmarts in the country, a lot of Walmarts in the country will allow you to park 24 hours in their parking lot. I don't plan on doing that unless it's an absolute emergency, but you never know. And then the last thing I have is the stipulations for the rig. What is it that I'm looking for? I even made, because, you know, again, I love to plan. I don't know if you can see that really well, but I even made the ideal, a schematic of the ideal floor plan for an RV. I know that I want a Class C. I mentioned that before. I'm thinking no longer than 26 feet, and that's because some state parks don't allow anything larger than 30. I would consider a B plus if the right configuration and the right needs. I have to have an island bed. There's some RVs out there where the bed is stuck against the corner in like a cubby and you can only access the bed from one side. The problem with that is not getting in and out of the bed, because that's not the issue. The issue is making the bed. And I don't want to have to fight sheets and coverlets and all that stuff. So it has to have an island bed, which means that I can get, just like you do at home, you can get to 3 sides of your bed. I gotta have a separate shower. I don't want a wet bath. Let me tell you what a wet bath is. Wet bath is a sink and a toilet in a tiny little closet, and then your shower head is over the top. So the place where you wash your hands and you take a shower is also the place where you use the bathroom. No, not for me. I want a separate shower. I know that I want a 2010 or something newer. It really just depends on the financing options, but also for insurance and also to make sure that it's reliable. Slide outs are okay as long as the refrigerator is not on the slide out. So I have a lot more stuff in here that I kind of wanted to give you a little intro to what goes to planning a move like that. The next thing is downsizing, and I've already started listing a lot of my furniture items, things that I can part with on the Facebook Marketplace and on Let Go, so that I can start to, in fact, I have some people coming tonight to see some of my stuff. And so I'm hoping that over the next few months, things, you know, I'm able to sell those things and start emptying the house, so that when the time comes and I move into the tiny little RV, I don't have any stuff, just my clothes, my dogs, things that I have to have. So anyway, that's where I am in the planning process. A lot of you have sent me great notes and a lot of encouragement, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate it. Your thoughts and prayers and happy juju is much appreciated and much needed. So until the next time, have a great day. God bless you, and see you real soon, peeps. Bye.